Mackenzie, Matthias, Efren, Ken. 3.
All right, guys. Go ahead and pause on conversations. Voices off at this time. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started for today. So, first and foremost, good afternoon to you guys. Happy Friday. Today, we are going, for our agenda, we're going to do a semicolons grammar practice to start our class. The necklace, we've already summarized it. We'll be talking about situational irony. So by end of class, you should be able to explain what was ironic about the ending, what was a surprise, how the author built surprise towards the situational irony of the story. You're going to write a paragraph, and then we have a exit ticket. So we'll get 2 handouts today. There are things that we're doing, but there's really not intensive, okay? We're going to essentially practice situational irony, go through the different types, apply it to how we see it in the necklace, all right? So, thank you for having cell phones away, earbuds off as we get started, all right? The first thing that we're going to do is take notes for semicolons. All right, it's just another way to vary our sentences when we're writing. So instead of using a period to connect complete thoughts, we can use a semicolon. It's very simple technique that we can start adding into our writing. And when you write your paragraph today, you're going to try a semicolon, all right? So you have this sheet. Everybody should grab one in front of you. If you don't have it, make sure you have it in front of you. Kamora, you got yours? That one? Okay, let's go ahead and take notes for this. So, semicolon, a sentence used to join independent clauses. Okay, so our first blank is independent. That just means there are 2 complete thoughts. All right, subject, verb, subject, verb. You do this instead of a comma and conjunction or a period. So for example, this would be a sentence with a comma and conjunction. I write and I teach. Okay, this is a comma and conjunction. The semicolon version could just be I write, semicolon, I teach. All right. So if you're noticing, I have a lot of simple sentences or a lot of compound sentences. I can then change my structure of my sentence to add a semicolon as well. All right, our next blank, in some sentences, the second clause begins with a conjunctive adverb. And in other sentences, the second clause begins with a similar expression. So if you look at those example sentences, you can see how they're similar. Okay. An expression, I ordered a cheeseburger for lunch. Life's too short for counting calories. Martha has gone to the library, semicolon, her sister has gone to play soccer. If we add a conjunctive adverb, I wash my hands, semicolon, therefore, comma, my hands are clean. So a conjunctive adverb, okay, can come to help, we're gonna get to it, transition your sentence. All right, independent clauses. They express a complete thought, so remember, it has to be 2 complete sentences. And it can stand alone. So stand alone, I write. I don't need anything to help it out. But if I just said, for my hike, That is not a sentence that can stand alone. You're gonna say, what? What about it? For my hike, I packed some gear, okay? So, in order to have a semicolon, it has to stand alone. All right, semicolon with conjunctive adverb examples. Conjunctive adverbs are words that connect two independent clauses or sentences showing the relationship. All right, next blank, relationship between them, often used to indicate a transition and thought, like such as, also, however, therefore, similarly, or instead. So this example, I want you to underline the conjunctive adverb. So in these example sentences right below, I washed my hands. I want you to underline therefore and the comma. That is your conjunctive adverb. So on your paper, where you have example sentence with a dash, underline the word therefore. I wanted to go to the party. However, underline however and your comma so that you can know and remind yourself, if I try to use my own sentence with the conjunctive adverb, all right, it's going to make that connection and transition into my next sentence. All right, we have one more fill in the blank sentence, and then we're going to actually put this into practice and recap on our main takeaways. All right, semicolon with transitional expression example. Okay, it allows, guys, a smooth transition. So I'm gonna scoot this over, I can come back to it. You're gonna have a smooth transition as your next blank by signaling the connection between them. Okay, so what that means, they're on the same track. Think of a train, it's carrying cargo. This sentence connects to this other one. So I cannot say, I like to go for walks. Eric, what are you doing after school? That would not be a semicolon sentence. Those are two complete different thoughts. Okay? But if I said, I like to take walks, Eric likes to go for runs. Okay? I could semicolon between those sentences because I'm talking about similar things. All right? So it's going to transition, but there's going to be a connection to the sentences. Okay? So main takeaways, when I have two complete sentences instead of comma, conjunction, or period, I can add my semicolon. I can add a conjunctive adverb. That helps me transition. However, moreover, as a result, similarly, in addition to, okay, moreover, thus, therefore, all right, those words that help you transition, okay, you can add a comma afterwards your semicolon. All right, let's turn over on the back. We're going to do two examples together. You're going to do one with your group, and then I'm going to let you do the rest independently or work with a partner. Go ahead and cross out number 8 because it's a duplicate of number 1. Cross out number 8 as it's a duplicate of number 1. And all you have to do is write the semicolon where it goes. You don't have to rewrite the sentence. You don't have to write the words. You just have to put your semicolon where it goes. So number 1, the weather forecast predicted rain all weekend. That is a complete sentence. My semicolon, therefore, goes after weekend. Consequently, so all I have to do is draw my semicolon. I'm just writing this so you can see the example. All you have to do is draw that semicolon. Consequently, the outdoor event was canceled. That is its own sentence. So my semicolon would go between two complete sentences, two complete thoughts, they're independent clauses. All right, number 2. Remember, you're just drawing the semicolon. I have a big test tomorrow. There's my complete sentence. Therefore, I can't go out tonight. My semicolon is just going between two complete sentences. I have a conjunctive adverb with a comma and therefore. Okay, it's helping me transition and connect my other sentence if I want to use it. All right, go ahead and talk with your group. Number 3, you decide as a group, where should the semicolon go? Take 1 minute. Where should that semicolon go? You don't have to write this, you can just put the semicolon. So just put it in between, like weekend and comma. You don't have to write anything, Eric, you just put the semicolon. Yep. Just draw it where it goes. You don't have to write this, you can just draw it where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and pause some conversations. Ashley, on number 3, where should my semicolon be? Okay, so let's listen to the complete thoughts. I need to buy groceries. All right, so if I pause there, let's see how the rest of my sentence sounds. For the week, eggs, milk, and bread are at the top of my list. So, Ashley, let's think of I need to buy groceries for the week is where it's saying for the week goes along with, hey, I need to buy groceries for this week. So that is a complete thought. Then I'm connecting eggs, milk, and bread are at the top of my list. All right? So I understand, guys, we can have sometimes where we have a subject and a verb come quick, all right, in the sentence, but read it to its entirety, all right? Read what makes up the whole sentence. So groceries for the week, therefore, where should my semicolon go? Between week, you got it, Ash, between week and eggs. Okay, eggs, milk, and bread are at the top of my list. All right, go ahead and take 3 minutes, finish 4 through 10. Again, you do not have to do number 8 because it is a duplicate. We'll go over this. It looks like most of us are already heading towards finishing, so we might go ahead and jump in just a minute.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think you should erase that. That's for right roll.
Yes, you said so.
Alright guys, 30 more seconds. All of us are either done or at the last one, so 30 more seconds.
That's okay.
And when I call on you, be prepared to tell me where the semicolon goes. Alright guys, go ahead and pause the conversations, listen up. Here we go. Kamori, number 4, where should my semicolon go?
He's right.
Me?
Yeah.
You didn't do it.
Behind the bananas.
Yep, between bananas and I. Alright, so apples, oranges, and bananas is what they bought. Then I forgot my wallet. Alright, number 5, Juan, what did you get?
I didn't get nothing. I didn't do it.
I'm gonna circle back to you. Number 6, Efren, where'd you get?
This season.
Yeah, between season and they. Juan, I'm circling back to you after number 7. Take 30 more seconds to pick it up. Alright, let's see, Grady's number 7. Yep, between walk is where I have my complete sentences. I add that conjunctive adverb. Alright, 1, what did you get for number 5?
We?
Yes.
Between we?
Between hike and we, yes.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect for a hike. That's a complete sentence. Semicolon, we decided to go to the mountain.
Good job.
Alright, Candace, number 9.
Between journey and consequently.
Journey. And then I have my conjunctive adverb with my comma, consequently. And number 10, Eric, what'd you get? Yep, between exam and therefore. Alright. Okay, guys, go ahead and tuck this away. Alright, tuck this handout away.
Yo.
Again, in your paragraph response today, you will be trying to use at least one semicolon.
Don't you put this on my table? Yo, this game. You put on my table. Bro, what's wrong with you? You're such a freak. Get up. You're such a freak in nature. I got one. What's so funny? He's just sweet. Yeah, bro. He's in the sauna.
Alright, guys. Go ahead and pause on conversations. We are transitioning to our focus skill for today, which is understanding situational irony. Alright? While I'm talking, make sure you're silently listening. We're going to just write the definition on this handout. Ms. King, can you hit this slide so we can keep our definition on our paper while we're working for reference? Also, this is what will be collected for a classwork grade, so you need to make sure you're actively working. As we're gonna do the front and back of this in just a moment. So nothing that we're working in right now, we're just gonna write the definition of situational irony on our paper. King, do you want some?
I have one. I want one.
What baseball?
I have one.
I want one.
Well, my birthday's
My
coming up.
birthday's coming.
Is it?
I don't care. I had good ice creams at lunch. I'm like,
Okay, so,
Patrick, right?
I have four.
alright guys, let's go ahead and focus in, pause the conversation and see if takes the hood off, thank you. Alright, so, today we should be able to define situational irony, look at what its characteristics are. What elements play a part of situational irony as it relates to our text, the necklace, look through some examples, and then reflect on why the author would use this. Is it effective for an audience that's reading? All right. So situational irony on your paper below the word block. Write the definition. Situational irony. Write purple. The contrast of the outcome of situation differs greatly from what one would expect to happen. So situational irony. In a breakdown, below the word block, below your block, in some open space, just write the definition.
Oh.
I need to paint it
Oh
on.
my God, actually, no.
Y'all need a paper?
You repeat the definition.
What you tell us right now?
The definition in purple.
Right here.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So, in short, I'm gonna look at something and I'll say to myself, what do I expect to happen in this situation? Then I will ask myself what actually happens, and what's the difference between my expectation of what's supposed to happen and the reality of what happens. That is situational irony. Something other than what you expect is happening. Something other than what you would expect in this scenario or situation is happening. All right, 30 more seconds.
No, a minute.
You can do the breakdown definition or you can do the definition in purple, whichever one best makes sense for you.
Oh, I could.
So we're gonna look at some examples now. Then we're gonna recall, we've already talked about dramatic irony, we're gonna recall verbal irony, okay, that we may already be aware of, and then focus on situational irony. So, right off the bat, for example, let me go to the effects. Why authors even use this, okay, is because when you can lull your audience to kind of sleep or think something of just this is what we would expect or anticipate, the surprise ending actually becomes exciting, the tension becomes exciting, and the plot twist is like, oh snap, okay, I didn't see that coming. So it's great for, okay, adding a twist or surprise ending. Now, one example of the situational irony can be a fire station catching on fire. That would be the last thing that we would expect, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the last place we would think there would have to be a fire put out because they're the people who put out fires, all right? So what is expected greatly differs than what we actually see happen. But let's talk about the Avengers, all right? When we watch an Avengers movie, what is the expectation?
Like,
At the end,
The heroes win?
the heroes win. But what happened at the end of the one with Thanos?
the villains.
They all.
Yes.
They died.
So, situational irony. We are just expecting, we just know that if we've seen 1, 2, 3, we just know that we know the hero is going to win. But when Thanos snaps his finger, ring, gemstone, whatever they are, okay, and everybody's wiped out, we're like, what? We did not expect this situation. That was like, what? Thanos won? All right, we're not expecting it. Situational irony. Gift of the Magi in literature. It is a story where we see something other than what we'd expect. Sweet little couple want to buy gifts for each other, want to celebrate each other. This one woman has long, beautiful hair like Clarissa and Edelyn back there. And she wants to buy her husband a watch. And she doesn't have any other means or money. So she says, I will cut my hair and I will sell it so I can get my husband this chain for his pocket watch. And meanwhile, the husband is like, it's our anniversary. I want to get my wife, I love her. She has beautiful long hair. I want to get her a hair comb. And he sells his pocket watch to get her the hair comb. And when they come to each other to exchange gifts, she doesn't have any hair and he don't have a watch. So the hair comb is not hair combing. The pocket watch chain is not giving because they're gone. Okay? So situational irony is what we don't expect to happen at the end. We expect, oh, they're just gonna love each other's gifts, but we don't see it coming. All right? So we're gonna look at how we see that in the necklace. All right. Recall. You have it on your irony card sort definition. If I can speak. Dramatic irony. Somebody raise your hand. Recall for us. What is that? And if you don't remember, look on your paper. Dramatic irony. We went through it in Oedipus. Grady's.
When the audience knows something that the character.
We know something they don't. So classic Romeo and Juliet. Okay. We know she's only sleeping. Romeo thinks she died. Dun dun dun. All right. We knew that. We will know something the character does not know until later. All right. Verbal irony. Okay. It's when you say something opposite of what you mean. So, if my daughters right now, they're 7 and 8, and they make something for me. All right, let's say they do this when I'm sick. They'll like bring me some bread and crackers and like some grapes. It's cute, but it's like the meal just be like very kiddie, okay? It just be some hodgepodge stuff, but they're trying to make me feel better. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much for this 5-star meal. All right, I don't really mean it's 5-star, but to them it is. But I'm saying something opposite of what is the reality, okay? So, let's test if we remember. All right, I'm gonna call on some people. Zoe, if I say a figure of speech, and I say one thing, but it means the opposite, what is that? What type of irony is that? I am saying the opposite. Verbal irony, and if you need a cheat sheet, if I call on you, you have the definition there. All right. Giselle, if the outcome is different from what I would expect, what kind of irony is that? I'm in a situation, the outcome is not what I expected. What kind of irony is that? Situational. And Matthias, not Matthias, Angel, because you just ate something. The audience knows something, but the character doesn't. Dramatic irony. All right. So,
Oh. Okay.
Miss King is going to take you guys, after this example, through a card sort. And you're going to have to sort the different types of irony you see.
Alright. 1. A character is speaking to someone they believe to be their friend, but the audience knows that this person is actually their enemy in disguise. The audience knows.
But the character doesn't.
Situational irony.
No?
Oh, verbal irony.
Is it not?
Dramatic, okay?
Whatever.
Dramatic is when the audience knows, but we don't know. Like in Oedipus, when we knew something and they didn't know. Alright?
So, 1, remember, dramatic, like think of the most dramatic horror movie you've seen where like, we're gonna hide in the basement and the killer's in the basement. It's like very dramatic. Like we know something they don't know to help you remember. We would know it like the bad guy's right there, but they walk right into
Or
it.
right here?
Well, I'm about to meet him. on
Okay,
the-
look, let's focus.
Deanna, a traffic cop gets his license suspended for unpaid parking tickets.
Careful, driver.
Perfect, situational, right? We wouldn't expect a cop to get suspended for parking tickets, right? Alright, and Efren, what a beautiful day is said during a thunderstorm.
What?
It's said.
Oh, verbal iron.
Verbal, great. Alright,
So funny, bro.
here's what you're gonna do with your group. Alright, Leonidas, listen.
Pause on conversations. Miss King has the floor.
Okay, there are three. We have the verbal irony, dramatic irony, situational irony. Right now, you're gonna undo your little packet of examples, and everybody's gonna get about 3 or 4. So go ahead and divide. Everyone should have 3
Maureen,
or
scoot your
4 or
desk over
5
and take 4.
of these.
Can we just do simple work?
Yep, stand everybody. About
So
3 or 4. I
different.
don't remember exactly one.
That'd be something different.
You can have one more. Let me go ahead. Yep.
Alright, everybody should be getting 4, so somebody
Here, you
distribute
can have
4,
these.
4, 4.
Alright. You're gonna take turns reading your card. Alright, let's pause on conversations over here. Okay. I'm gonna give you an example of how this is gonna go. You're gonna read what's on your card. Alright. You're gonna say, this is an example of either verbal, situational, dramatic. Because why? So, if I had a fire station burns down while the firefighters are away responding to a large fire in another part of town, is that verbal, situational, or dramatic? Situational, because it's, you wouldn't expect that the fire station to be burning down, right? Alright? Okay, how much time did you want to give it?
6 minutes has been fun. That's some.
Alright.
Let's give them 7. Alright.
7.
Yeah.
Alright, so everybody should be talking.
Ladies, put a mag session. real quick.
Yep, you can put your cards on your floor. So put the cards.
Yeah,
First one.
put them on.
This is verbal iron.
Alright, so you'll take turns reading and then decide which one it is and put them on the paper.
This is situational.
So put them on, like put all the verbal on here, all the dramatic on here, all
Alright.
This is dramatic. How many do you have?
What's the
Why do you
dramatic
have 15
situation?
cards, bro? Why do you have 12 cards?
Like you said, you were expect that.
Alright, make sure you're saying why with your group.
Because we should hear this. This is situational because. This is dramatic because.
Well, yeah, this is dramatic because it says right here the audience knows.
Okay, they bought clothing insurance to protect their house.
You're just staring, you're like-
Still got
Because it
destroyed.
says they received the film today, but they said
Dramatic.
Y'all have not
What's
said
the definition
This
of
is-
dramatic?
so y'all are done.
The audience has to know something. She probably think y'all
Alright, y'all gotta put them on.
That's in the audience. We're the
All
audience.
the verbal. And y'all gonna talk, help,
It's just what I was talking about.
Are you gonna
I'm tweaking.
This is
Saying what they don't mean. Yeah, verbal. Verbal is saying what they don't mean. They said it was good, but
The food was burnt and charred. A person invests a significant amount of money in buying
Hey, why are you mixing it, bro?
and how it's destroyed by a large.
No, we don't even know which one.
They were buying insurance for her blood instead of her.
How's that funny? Someone just died.
A lifeguard. That is How do you lifeguard when you drown?
The situation.
Conmigo. Mayúscula.
What's that?
We need to beat him up. We need to beat him up.
Because it is not a reason, because it's a lie.
Ya, espérate, está saliendo ahí.
Why is that situational? If I don't know what situational irony is, you say situational irony
Say expenses, guys.
¿Qué pasa con la española? Que no lo Esa es.
rain.
Oh,
What I say if I see it?
Yo, why does he have his tablet?
Forgot.
Checked out.
I forgot.
Take away his tablet.
Remember? And put your iPad.
Thank
you.
Thunderstorm.
So what is that?
All done.
Y'all trying to close my teeth.
Y'all explained why?
Why we have 3 cards hanging out right here?
Intimate danger.
Well, you gotta use all of them. Alright, 2 more minutes. We will take a brain break, come back and go over it, and finish up our text analysis.
Why did you do it? Why'd you? Why'd you kick the disco? Stop doing that.
Can I get another ice cream? Ashley, you want some tea? Ashley.
Actually, we're fine. Quiere que yo salga y le diga, oh, a él,
Are you actually fit?
No, it's
It's
tequila in there.
Would you give it
Says, well, my fast with my cup. Because okay, go ahead and pause on conversations. Voices off. Pause on conversations. Voices off. But this last minute, silently, in a moment, you are going to go to the restroom if you need to. If you need to wrap up, let's do that. Be respectful in the hallway, okay? Because people are learning. We're not just loud kikiing, disrupting other people's learning. So if you need to go. If you're wrapping up, go. I'll set a 5-minute timer. Be in and out. Corey, put your iPad in your backpack. Corey, put your iPad in your backpack.
Yeah, give me a second.
You're not seeing me. I don't see no picture. It don't have any friends. He said, I'll be right back. Can we bring us speak? He said,
What?
Well, I guess I'm not gonna stop you guys from reading, you know? He's not ever be mad about that. Ain't you supposed to be working at work?
It's a smoothie place at night. It's gonna be slow. Jefferson and Randy.
Some
did you guys see yours reflected?
All phone on the private.
No, grading in progress, I don't know how to use it, but it will say it's but if you see GIP, that just means it's grading, we've started. Yours might not be.
I did not bring that shit from now.
Oh, we're thieves. A millionaire who is known for
You look like me. Like you a robber Bates, but not like shoot anybody. Like
Unnecessary, expensive dies.
and then you get arrested.
Leaving behind a vast fortune. The irony is that the person who lived a simple, unnecessary, frugal life amassed great wealth, which was unexpected on my side. No, I can't. Thank you. You shut up because you can't read either.
I
You can't
can't.
even spell right.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
Who said that? Where did you see that?
Oh my God.
Wait, you wrote that.
Our class is just hanging out.
That's the
It's because I was writing upside down.
You
Do
just finish
your
reading
work.
You sound stupid. What?
I was writing upside down.
No, you weren't.
It was.
You were writing personal thoughts.
See, I can't spell right.
This should be situation.
I didn't write it. Dude.
You put TH last
I put GT. I put HGT.
What
Did I do it right?
Dude,
Yeah.
I saw that.
I did it
No,
right.
no, no, we don't need, I don't need you to.
I did so
like it.
I can't write R's upside down. You're hate criming me.
That's strong.
Oh my goodness, bro. Why would you push me, bro? It's not a favor de
Oh my goodness.
Who's this, bro?
Matthias, now we can't go to the restroom because of you. You were playing fucking feet on the phone.
Hey, dude, chill.
What's wrong with you, bro? Why would you do that, bro?
That's like something
Yes, bro. He's over there like drinking.
I'm about to jump on him.
You're gonna hurt your other arm.
Oh, yeah.
Man, she gonna use grass and she gonna
There you go.
Damn, but she said you got weak bones, bro.
You taking him to mess
Don't forget about
Hey, Matthias, put that back.
Put that back, bro. Put that back.
Put the baseball
Oh,
back.
yeah,
Put it back.
no, that's mine, actually. I'm gonna take it home.
What? She's gonna keep that now, Matthias.
What, the cupcake?
That's her
The
baseball. That's her baseball.
They grab.
Who's they?
You bro.
Me? Yeah.
I should have stood
Matthias,
up
why
more
are we
active
playing
like I
Fiend
was
on the
teaching.
phone in the restroom? What are you doing?
I'm not waiting until next year to get a cupcake again.
You better not. We got a minute left. Anyway.
Bro, I had a minute. I still could have
Man,
stopped.
why you like to go on
Why does he always wait to?
Why is you always late, bro?
He's under the jerky.
Don't forget about it anyway. You can walk out the store and forget it was here.
Such a freak, guys.
Well, it'll be here.
It's gonna be on sale.
That's the best time.
My sugar low.
They're fighting over a milk. Take away the milk.
Yeah,
Okay, this is a drink.
Jeez, why you have
Alright, let's go. Back to your seat. Cell phones away. We're gonna not this one page. Art this one.
Oh.
Go with me.
I didn't break it. Not that phone, bro.
Yo. More.
Oh.
It's not even funny. I'm just writing.
Why'd you knock that off?
I didn't, bro. It was still swinging when I walked away, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I know what happened with fly off.
You just happened to be around it.
I literally watched you pull it down, bro.
Oh,
Alright. Go ahead and pause our conversation. One person from your table, if you could quickly just clip the cards back together. Everybody else, please get in front of you. Okay, I'm talking. So make sure you have the situational irony graphic organizer in front of you, ready to go over some examples with this king. So we're gonna do the first box together. Miss King's gonna lead you into the second one, and then you're picking up with what happens with your group. All right. So expectations while she's talking. Turn your voice off.
Okay, we're gonna go over some situational irony that happens in the book. What we have done is we have given you the situation. So our first one is Matilda's husband hands her an invitation to a glittering ball. In the first box, you're gonna write what you expected to happen. What is expected, alright? And the next box, we're gonna write what actually happens. I'm pretty sure the first one happens on page 374, okay? When her husband hands her an invitation to a glittering ball. What would we have expected her reaction to be?
For her to be excited?
Ephraim?
For her to be excited?
Yeah. You would expected her to be excited. You gonna write this?
Okay, what is expected? Again, you're writing, she should be excited. And if we're thinking about why, because she likes to be fancy and rub shoulders and wants a luxurious lifestyle. So if you get to go to a ball where you get to live it up, dress nice, okay, we'd expect her to be excited about this invitation.
Right.
Okay. What actually happens? What is the actual reaction? Someone raise their hand and tell me. Yeah, she's panicked, right? She doesn't want to go. Why?
She doesn't have anything to
Yeah,
wear.
because she doesn't have anything to wear. Alright, she panics because she has nothing to wear.
Alright, we're gonna make sure you write the page number down.
Yeah, it's
As we go, Ms. King is gonna do one more example of what is expected, and then with your group, you're gonna do what actually happens.
Alright, example number 2 happens on page 376. 376. Alright, Matilda, I don't know if that's how you say it. It's a great success at the ball. What would you expect? So she's had a really great time at the ball. What would you expect her reaction to be once the ball ends?
Happy.
Yeah. She should be happy.
Alright, somebody, real quick,
Yeah.
why should she be happy about the night?
Because
Why would we expect that? Why would that be an expectation? Sullivan? Did you raise your hand?
No.
Oh, Ephraim?
Well, because she got like a lot of attention and they complimented her.
Yeah, she was the it girl. She got all the oohs, ahs, stares that she wanted. So we expect if you got what you wanted, you would be happy, right?
Yeah. So,
Alright, with your group, let's take a minute and I want you to discuss what actually happened.
So get your book open to page 377. Look between paragraphs 61 and 62. Get your book open to page 377. Look and examine in paragraphs 61 and 62. 377, looking between paragraphs 61 and 62. 377, paragraph 61 and 62. Jayla, Mackenzie, books open, 377, looking at page. Alright, I got you. Let's see, please write that book open right there.
Wait, Miss Peelr, what page you say?
377, paragraph 61 and 62. Y'all talk about what actually happened.
Oh, she lost the necklace. Wait.
That's what we expect.
What happened? I get to for that one, but what happened?
Okay, so.
What, did she lose the
Already
necklace?
did.
Yeah, she loses the
Oh,
necklace.
God.
377, please put that up.
Okay, so put that.
And let's get 377.
Just for the little paragraph.
61 and 62. Talk about it with your group, then write about it. Discuss with your group, then write about it.
When she left the party, it was almost 4 in the morning.
Oh my God, I ain't no way to just finish that necklace.
Six paragraphs, 61 and 62. Okay, 377.
And they went sadly upstairs to their apartment for her.
But let's think about before, we're still talking about the night. So before she loses the necklace, what happened after the party? Before she loses the necklace, we say we expect her to be happy, but what is her disposition? Before we get to that. And you can put that in addition, but all right, 30 more seconds. We should see something on everybody's paper. If you are not finding it, it's as simple as, hey, what did you get? What do you think with your group mates?
Oh my gosh, Matthias.
Tears, bro. Why are you cussing?
Oh,
At school. Like, you hear that? Don't stop.
Sorry.
If it was me, I
Yeah,
would've
look
got rid of it.
specifically in paragraph
I would've got
61
rid
or
of it.
62.
What'd you put? She upset? Hey, at least you. She's upset because.
All right, 10 more seconds. We're gonna talk about it, and then you're working on the rest with your group. All right, go ahead and pause on conversations. Ms. King is gonna call on one person. Please reference what you see from the text. Okay?
Okay, Candace, what did you put for what happens?
I put she gets upset because she realizes that she still is poor and she loses the necklace.
Yep, she loses the necklace. Specifically in paragraph 61, she says, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but she says for her it was all over. Like all of the luxuries, all the money she spent was just for one night. Now she has to go back to the reality of her life, which is not as fancy as she would like. So she is upset that she has to return to reality.
Bro.
And then part of that is that the necklace is gone, and that is also a reality check of I've lost my friend's necklace, which she thinks is worth hundreds of dollars.
Okay, so next step direction, we're gonna give you 8 minutes to finish the boxes and answer question 1 and 2. When you get to question number 2 at the bottom, that is your own reasoning. Listen. Circumstances or desires. What leads to her misery? Her circumstances or desires. What leads to some people's misery and circumstances is because you have a hard knock life. Like really, it is, I don't know if I'm gonna eat. I don't know where my next thing is coming from. I don't know how I'm gonna get this. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I don't even know left or right, up or down. Some people's circumstances, unfortunately, are rough and it leads you to, it can, maybe a negative outlook. Is it for her, this situation, her circumstances, or is she just desiring the finer things of life and because she cannot have, she's miserable? So you just explain what you think on question number 2. So 8 minutes, finish the boxes for situational irony, what is expected, what happens with each scenario, and then answer questions 1 and 2. Okay, you can work with a partner. Partners at your table, you can work independently, that's up to you. Are you going to work with a partner or independent?
Can work with me. What about me?
Do you need to work with a partner?
I love her by myself.
You're not even done. You're gonna live. Wow.
That was a meeting. So this one.
Oh.
Like, what would you expect there? He was like, yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't know.
Is this guy serious?
Besides our paragraphs on that.
Wait. Yeah.
Everybody else likes getting administrator, you guys
Don't know.
How do we expect her to, based off of her personality, she's
not been able to come up with that.
cried about the invitation, cried she didn't like the dress. How would we think she would react when she's got to go to that, is she sad? Does she cry? Does she burn herself? I mean, does she look what happened? Let's talk about it. Gotta make sure your conversation are on and we're using our time. Make sure we're using our time.
That's probably not too much. I don't know. I don't know what he did. He starts like quoting. I'm like, starts saying in his bed,
Okay, I want to hear conversations about Mademoiselle, the necklace, what was expected, what it is happening. It's not that.
So,
Tier.
You expect your feelings to pay off.
On the screen. What does she
And then what a conversation would be like when they run back into each other.
Oh, I expected her to get angry.
Yeah, no, I
You don't even answer.
No.
Okay, based off of her character, how she's responded to this, how would you expect her to respond to go into like poverty and hardship? How would we naturally expect her to respond? Huh? No, I wasn't saying that. She would just deal with it, cause she was already.
But like at the same time, she could have told the lady, and then the lady probably would have been, oh, it's okay. Instead, she did something she didn't have to do because it was fake anyway.
How would you expect her to basically respond when she's faced with that hardship? Based off of her.
Work it off.
Okay.
Me personally, I would just leave this.
Okay, so we might.
Like my blink.
Frustrated, but Zoe, you said, how does she respond?
Why the hand that's freaking like the musket, cool. People don't learn like
She's
that.
successful, and she's pretty determined, right? Did you ask your group?
Thank you.
Freaking
What
work
you
she's
think? Ask the group what they think first, and then what you can check.
What about the end, like the very end?
I did it. I did it.
We're against it.
You
Did
mean,
you expect?
are you
Or
putting right
actually
there, bro?
happened?
Weren't we writing?
Yeah.
Or what?
It's more so about, yeah, so like, she meets her man after like 10 years.
You don't got a breakdown.
You're not talking to them.
Yo, here, you down here? No, but yeah, for number 4, I would expect it to be like 80. Instead of being like, bro, like what is my team doing, bro?
Alright, 2 more minutes, we should be through the boxes, and then those questions take about a minute
Bro, I
each.
remember, bro.
Can I answer the questions at the bottom too?
We are answering questions 1 and 2 at the bottom, they're just some reflection questions.
Did you not read the story? My damn locks, her brace, her neck right here.
Okay, so at the end, when they meet in the street, what do you expect? They haven't seen each other in 10 years. Well, that's what happened. You knew that was gonna happen. So that's what happened. You have to tell me what you
Ran into somebody and
So right now-
the wall was just
It's a miracle that she got the necklace for a piece. She did.
Alright, so this is more when you're running into somebody you haven't seen
Why are you talking about the story?
in a while. She was my friend, each other, how would you think the interaction would If you have something on your paper and you are stuck, do not stay stuck. Ask the person who has something on their paper, what do you think? What did you get? You are able to talk with your group. If you are lacking in something and you don't understand, ask the person next to you.
She lost her bracelet. Her bracelet? Bracelet. Wait, it is? I thought the Phil was Oh, that's right. Why is she named
Alright, go ahead and pause on conversations. I need all voices off. Pause on conversations. Come to a stopping place. I need your pencils down in 3, 2, 1, and 0. You will come back to this. All pencils are down. Eyes up. All pencils are down. Eyes up. Okay, turn your paper over to question number 3. We're about to write our paragraph and exit ticket to end class.
Why?
Now, on your desk, you have paragraph structure of a tag, premise, Sullivan, claim, evidence, and justifications. So, your prompt on number 3 says you need to, in a paragraph, explain the ending of the necklace, explain why it is a surprise ending, and how the author created the element of surprise within the story. Okay? So, situational irony, what is ironic about the ending? What is expected? So, off that, y'all can just tell me as a class, what is ironic about the ending?
That the necklace was fake.
Yes. The fake necklace. Alright? So that should explicitly be in our answer that ultimately we were not expecting the necklace to be fake. It is also asking us, how did the author build this surprise element? Like, what did he actually do to kind of distract us, that we didn't see it come until the end, that the necklace is actually fake? So, for example, when I look at how she borrowed it from a rich friend, that's a detail that was building surprise. That's a detail that I expect if she borrowed a diamond necklace from a rich friend, it would just be a real necklace, all right? Somebody else with a hand. What else could be an element of surprise that was built within a story, Efren?
That the necklace was priced at like $130.
Yeah, the identical necklace.
Yeah.
The matching necklace priced at 36,000 francs. It was really 40. They were gonna give it to him for 36. So if I expect that this identical necklace, right, that's an element of surprise that was built. What else? I need 2 more, Grady's. Yes. Okay. Everybody's staring at her in awe of how immaculate she looks, how elegant she's dressed. Okay. How exquisite she is. What else could be an element of surprise detail that the author created? I want to hear somebody who I've not heard from today. Somebody I've not heard from today. You've not answered a question out. What could be an element of surprise that we might have missed? Okay, it might have distracted us from the fact that this necklace was fake. We were just expecting it to happen because this interaction or this action happened. Who said something? Started saying something?
Just tell it, right? I already told you that.
Oh my gosh.
A black box. A black satin box.
Yeah, it was in a very fancy box. Okay. Also, something that I'm thinking of is she worked 10 years of debt to pay it off. Just makes me expect, all right, she did her time. She replaced it. It is what it is. All right. So you are going to, using your sentence stems on your paper, tag, title, author, and genre. You have to answer your claim. The claim is asking you, how is it an ironic ending? How was surprise built? We have it here. So you have to explain one or a couple of these elements of surprise and how it led to us not being aware that it was a fake necklace. You have 10 minutes to write your paragraph. You have these sentence stems. You can literally just use the sentence stems to help you start. You fill it in. After this 10 minutes, if you finish before that time, you have a 3-2-1 exit ticket 3 similarities you see in Lord's song. I'll sing it for y'all if you want. You know I'm a great singer.
Sure.
Hold on, here we go. Excuse me.
Get out.
Gold teeth, gray girls, dripping in the bathroom, ball stains, blonde girls, Charlie hometown real, we don't care. We're driving Cadillac in our dreams. Yeah. Never be royal. Wow, Jefferson, that's right. Oh, wow, they did not. Okay, anyway.
Weren't you in high school?
Lord's Song of Royal. Okay, if you see any similarities or differences between the message. All right, we get from the necklace, you have to identify what message do we learn from Matilde, and then recap 2 ways surprise was built. So 2 ways surprise was built in the story. All right, 10 minutes for your paragraph. If you finish, read one extra ticket before we leave out.
She did not even sing the song.
Expectations. We are silently writing. I don't want to hear a single voice, a single sound. Silently and actively writing on your paper. Thank you to those who have already started. Silently and actively writing. If you are talking, you are about to move. Randy, you are on your way to move. Do you need to say you can focus?
No, I don't
Alright,
even know.
Alright,
How easy is it? You have to.
Efren, come on. Efren. Bring your paper in here. Oh, we got a special seat.
The last couple minutes.
Yep, come on.
Please don't have to sit by me. Oh,
But no one cares about you.
thank you. Thank you.
Oh my.
Now go sit over there like a good boy.
Tomorrow.
Go sit over there.
We're not having a conversation because we're gonna be moving too.
Oh.
If we can't function, where is she in paragraph? You got this answered? Find something to do something.
Who's calling my name?
I'll go to the library and get a book.
They'll let you go the last 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
might not need it.
Alright guys, 2.5 more minutes, and remember, if you finish your paragraph, go ahead and push towards the exit ticket. You can say a similarity or difference you think between those lyrics. 2 ways that the story built suspense, just so we can reference. And then the message, the overall message, what do we learn from Matilda's actions? Okay, what does it teach us? Alright guys, 1 more minute, our voices are still off. We will pack up in just 1 minute, you can just keep them on the desk. Give me 30 seconds. So, obviously, guys, the irony of the situation, everything, when it's all said and done, leads up to the necklace being fake. Stop moving. Stop moving. 20 seconds. What message could we learn? The fact that she had to pay off all this debt, it wasn't even real in the first place. What message could we take away from that one person? Could we learn from her actions? What'd you say?
He broke.
Just be honest.
All right, honesty is a great policy. She could have just come forward. What else could we learn? Because she had to go into all this debt. Huh? Some things are not always what they seem.
Don't borrow.
Okay? Maybe if you're gonna borrow, check into things. But ultimately, guys, a message that we can take away is be grateful and content with what you have. It's not worth it. All right. So, keep these papers on your desk. The only thing I need, the paragraph stems and the situation party on your desk. Everything else is packed away. Only paper that you're leaving on your desk is situation party. Do not leave me, semicolons. Do not leave me. Vocab stuff. All right. As you get ready to pack up, you have a great weekend. Hope you have a great weekend.
That came quick.